Hey guys, how you doing, man? So today I'm gonna talk about fasting. Fasting. Now, in these days, there are many interpretations of what is fasting, right? If you go back 100 years, 200, 500,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000 years, because fasting is really the oldest medicinal or medical treatment in the world. Is fasting, right? People like Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Buddha himself, of course, and many, many other masters did fasting, right? And so, fasting is basically your oldest medical treatment. And up to this day, up to right now, it's still the most effective and efficient medical treatment you can ever do and ever find in the world. Because why? Because you don't put anything in your body, you take things out of your body, right? And think about this: all the health problems that you will ever face in your life, right? No, doesn't matter what it is. It comes from putting things in your body, right? But fasting is the opposite of that. Fasting is taking things out of your body. That's what you do. You stop eating, you stop taking medicine, you stop drinking, you stop everything, right? You can even stop drinking water for I've done water fasting. Water fasting means drinking only water, which is basically what I'm doing now, right? So since yesterday I've started my fasting, and I still have quite a few pounds or kilograms of flab to shake off, right? But I'm not too worried because I'm not sure how long I'm gonna do this fast this time. So let me give you a quick history of my past fasting. My first fast was in 19, I believe it was 97, could have been 96 actually, but I'm not clear. 97, 96, around there. No, it's probably 96. Anyway, it was a forced fast. It was not like I was going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to start fasting, no eating, no food. No, I was forced to fast, okay, guys? So without any more ado, let me quickly weigh myself because that's very important. So I've been fasting since yesterday, so it's already one day, 24 hours, right? So let's see. Johnny, we're still here in Johnny's room, by the way, guys. I don't know if Johnny is going to follow me and start fasting himself, but I'm 90, what is that? 94.8. 94.8 kilograms. So I'm under 95. Wow, that's not bad. So what is my food is going to be this for the next week, 2 weeks, 10 days, 14 days, whatever. That's water and that's lemons. I got these lemons. I better start cutting them very soon. Um, some of these lemons are already looking bad. So I want to transfer the lemon juice into this container of water because that's going to be my main food for the next fucking 10, 15 days. So I'm already under 95 kilos, guys. 94.8. Well, that's pretty damn good because just about a week ago, during the New Year's and all the celebrations, I was 99 kilos. I was just around 100 kilograms. So I'm now 5 kilograms less. 5 kilogram translates to about, 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. 2.2 pounds. So you guys that are good in maths can tell me. So it's over 10, it's almost 12. No, it's maybe 11 pounds down. And I started yesterday, so I'm already over 24 hours into my fast, right? So the first 24 hours, I've lost maybe a kilo or so. So the main idea now is that I need to get into a state of what is called ketosis. Ketosis means all the sugar or carbohydrates has left your body. There's zero sugar or carbohydrates in your body. Once you reach this state of ketosis, and you can, for example, you can go to a pharmacy, you can buy the strips, you can pee on it. If it turns blue, I believe, they will tell you on the packet anyway. But if it turns blue or whatever, then you have reached a state of ketosis. All the carbohydrates and sugar has been taken out of your body, all right? And that moment you will start losing. If you still do your fasting, like I'm going to do with water and a little bit of lemon, you will probably, depending on your level of activity, if you go for walks and a little bit of exercise, but you will lose about it also depends on your weight, right? If you are very overweight, you will lose at least 2 kilograms every day. If you're like me, average overweight, you will lose like 1 kilo a day, right? So let's say starting from now, I'm not in ketosis yet. I think it usually takes about 2 days from the moment you start your fast to get into ketosis. So maybe by tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I will enter the state of ketosis and I will be losing at minimum 1 kilogram a day, just doing nothing, just drinking lemon water. So guys, like I've just told you, I've been doing fasting since 1996. And I've been doing it every single year of my life. In fact, about a year or so ago, while we were in South Africa, Johannesburg, I did the longest fast I've ever done, which was 44 days, 44 days, which is pretty good. Except I did 30 days only water, but then I did a tiny little bit of food, maybe half a cup of food. So technically, if you don't go over 500 carbs, 500 kilojoules or whatever how do you measure that? But anyway, energy, right? If you don't go over 500 parts of energy a day, that is still considered to be fasting. So I was doing for 14 days. The first 30 days, I did no food, only water. And then for the last 14 days, I actually had a little bit of, usually it was a little bit of rice with a little bit of vegetable, usually like a half a cup or maybe 1 cup. So in total it was 44 days. Although I'm not very happy with that fast because, like I said, for the last 14 days I was still taking a little bit of food because, funny enough, the first 4 days when you're fasting, the first 4 days are the hardest, right? The first day is really kind of hard, really tough. The second day actually gets even harder because now you're constantly thinking of food. You smell food, like Angel is cooking out there, and I can smell some food, and that makes me even more hungry. But third day can also be tough. Your mind starts to play tricks on you, and then the fourth day should be you're kind of like now almost there. Fourth or fifth day, you're into the fasting game and you're like, yeah, give it to me or don't give it to me, right? So right now I'm still a little bit hungry, I feel quite weak, but hey, that's normal. So for the first 4 days, but then after, funny enough, after you can go 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, usually after 3 to 4 weeks, you start getting hungry again. And that's what happened to me last time when I was in Johannesburg. I did the 30-day. I'm very happy with the first 30 days. It was great. Then I got hungry again and I started eating a little bit. So at some point, I'm going to repeat that 40-day fast, but this time with no food. But I needed to just do a long fast and then see mentally I can do it and physically. So I think I can do that. Okay, guys, so I'm going to sit here and while I'm telling you quickly, I want to tell you guys today about my very, very first fast, which I told you it was kind of involuntary. It was definitely not voluntarily I did it. And I had no plan to do it, but actually what happened was let me see, this one looks really fucking bad. This one is bad, guys. Well, I think I can use some of it. I will I will use this one. I will cut that off and squeeze out I think there's another one in here that's not too good. Well, I bought this a few days ago, so they're going off a little bit. Honey, this is Angel, by the way. Oh, that's her legs, by the way. She's got brown legs. You guys recognize that? What are you doing, baby?
What do you want?
Can you film me for a little while, baby? Like while I'm cutting here and talking to the guys. So guys, for my first fast, I was living in Taiwan and I had a master. I met a very, very unique. I'm writing books about this guy now. So he was a Japanese. He was a real Japanese ninja, not the comic book variety we see in the mass media, but a real ninja. Very interesting guy. So he was one of my greatest fears in life, one of my greatest fears was to stop eating. Because, as a human being, we all want, what is our biggest thing in life? It's basically to eat, right? Because why? Food keeps you alive. Food is pleasure. Food is fun. Everything that is fun and pleasure in our lives, we associate often with what we eat and what we put in our bodies, what we drink. So one day, my master, his name was Mario Kagawa, a great man, the greatest man I ever met. He suggested to me, Frank, stop eating. And I was really shocked. I was like, wow. So guys, I'm going to cut this. Honey, can you show for a moment how we cut this? I'm just going to cut out this bad part here and then see if I can still use the rest of the lemon. So, it smells alright. Maybe I'll cut off this part here. It smells alright. Doesn't have a rotten smell to it, but it looks looks a bit bad. And I will so I'm going to squeeze this into this big container here, and I will transfer it into smaller containers. So yeah, let me remove it here. So anyway, Mario suggested to me, hey man, stop eating. He didn't suggest, he basically ordered me. And that, and he said things like, yeah, like I explained to you guys now, yeah, it's the first 4 days, on the fourth day, you will see the devil coming to haunt you, stuff like that, So that kind of put the fear of the devil or the fear of God into me, right? So I was like, wow, stop eating. That will be the toughest thing I've ever done. I've done a lot of tough things in my life, right? But not eating would definitely count as maybe the toughest thing I've ever done. So I was very hesitant to do that. I did try for like 4 days, but it was a mess. It wasn't real fast. I didn't really know what I was doing. So it wasn't really real. So then I ended up going to the Philippines. And the funny thing was, because Mario was also going to the Philippines on that trip. And I was just going to renew my Taiwan visa. So I just basically flew over from Manila to Taiwan. It's like 1 hour. And I thought, at that time I was studying martial arts, Kung Fu, at the Chinese, or I had a letter stating that I'm studying martial arts at the university, the Chinese Cultural University up in Yangmingshan. And so I had a letter from the university. So I was fully confident I would be gone for maybe, I was going on a Friday. Then I would go straight to the Taiwan embassy, give them my passport. And on the Monday, I was going to pick up my passport with my new visa, 6 months, I was hoping. And then, I should have. Usually I got 6 months. So, 6 months meaning, yeah, anyway. So basically I was going to stay 4 days and then fly out on Monday night or Tuesday night. But, when I went to pick up my visa on Monday, I was told by the Taiwanese consulate general that I can't get a visa. I need this and this. I need the invitation letter, and I need this, and I need money, and So, and in 1996, it was not like today when you had cell phones and stuff like that. Everything was very hard. So I couldn't, you had to basically get a phone, you had to call directly. And the funny thing was, I only brought, because originally I thought I was only going to be there for 4 days, right? Maybe 5 at the max. So I just brought, I figured, okay, how much money do I need for 4 days? And I was like, okay, I need about X amount, and which was not a lot. So suddenly now, it's Monday and I can't get a visa, and I've spent all my money. I've spent all my money because I was figuring, okay, I'm leaving today. Now suddenly I can't get a visa, so I don't have money, and I can't get into contact with any of my friends, and I don't know what to do. So this hostel that I was staying at was in Paranaque, not too far. It was maybe, I don't know how many kilometer walk from the Taiwanese consulate, but it was Taiwanese consulate was in Makati, right? Paranaque to Makati. I don't know, maybe it was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kilometer or whatever. But Um, the lady that the hostel. I was staying in a hostel. I rented a room, and then I came back to the hostel and I told her what happened, and she said, "Oh my God, what are you gonna do?" And I was like, "I don't know, and I'm very short on money." She said, "Okay, look, I got a little roof on a little awning or whatever you want to call it on my roof, on the roof of this hostel. You can go and sleep there under this. There's a little overhanging roof there, and it'll be very very cheap. If you have money, you can pay me whatever, or basically it was very close to being for free, and so that was the best thing I could do. But then I realized immediately I don't have money to buy food or to buy anything, and then I couldn't even buy water. So I was like, I tried to drink water at the hostel, but every morning I walked from this hostel all the way to the Taiwanese consulate, like maybe about 10 kilometers. I don't know, guys. Maybe today, maybe somebody can tell me if you look on the map. But so yeah, so you can show my handiwork here, if you don't mind. I think I better just squeeze it directly into the bottle, huh? Or should I put it? No, wait. So anyway, I made a decision straight away. No more food. No more food while I was in Manila until I got my visa. And how long did it? Hello, honey. Can you film or what are you doing? How long did it take to get my visa? It took 16 days. 16 days before I had the Taiwanese visa in my hand. So for the next 16 days, I was on a fast, involuntary. I never planned to fast, but I did it. And it was great. It was amazing. I walked every day about 10, 15, 20 kilometers in a very hot sun. And anyway, I will tell you much more about the story later on. One day, for example, I was walking to the embassy, and I had I had no money on me, and a man came up to me and he goes like, "Oh, please give me money. I haven't eaten all day, And it was like noon, and I looked at the guy and I said to him, "You haven't eaten all day." "Well, I haven't eaten for 8 days." And this guy looked at me like, oh. He ran like he saw the devil himself, and he ran like he ran for his life, and it was very funny, So yeah, but in the hostel itself, there were some really good people. They would come to me, and they would live there for 2, 3, 4 days, and they would say, oh, they would hear of my predicament. They would go like, oh, okay, man, we will buy you food. And I said, well, thank you, but are you gonna buy me food tomorrow as well? Are you gonna be here next week? And inevitably they would go like, no, man, we're moving on. And I go like, yeah, but in that case, it's just gonna mess me up. If I eat now and then I don't eat again tomorrow and the day after, I would just rather keep going. So that is what happened. I didn't have food, and I just drank water. I drank the tap water, guys. The tap water in Manila is not safe. Anywhere in Asia, basically, it's not safe to drink tap water, right? But I mean, I had no choice, so I had to drink the tap water, and I was not overweight I was 85 kilo at that time. I was very young, in 1996, and I was about 85 kilogram, and I lost, over 16 days, I believe I lost 12 kilogram. 12 kilogram. I went down to 72 kilograms, and I was really thin, man. But hey, the point was that was my first experience of fasting. And then the next year I said, okay, I'm going to do it again. And I did this again, and over the years, over how many years is it now? This is 2025. I'm doing my fast again for this year. So over the 25, so I did about 28 fasts, because I usually do it once a year. Sometimes I would do it maybe twice a year, but let's say no more than 30 fasts. All water fast. And why would I fast, guys? Why? Because mostly, oh, look at the lemon. Mostly I fast because for my health. number one. In the beginning, it was more like I was very young. I was how old? I was 30, 32 years old, and it was not. I was not overweight. My health was good. So at that time, it wasn't really much for health, but it was more for spiritual. Because, like I told you guys, my master was this ninja guy, right? So he would want me to do all kinds of things, fasting, burn myself. So like you see this little wound here, honey, on my arm. But this was a big old wound here, and it was very deep. It was like that deep, right? And that he asked me to put a candle on my arm and then light it and then wait for it to burn out. So that put the fear of God into me again, and I was like, wow, how can I do that? So and I said, okay, I will start fasting and I won't eat until I've done it. And that took 12 days of no food, and it was right in the middle of winter. It was December, I think it was, and I lived on a mountain outside Taipei. It was freezing cold. And I was working. I went to work every single day, all day long. I was working 10, 12 hours a day. And I was very, very tired. I had no food. I was freezing cold at night. On the 12th night, it was like midnight. I came out of the shower and I said to myself, okay, I have to do it right now. And I had the old candle. I had the box of matches. I opened it and there were only 2 matches. And, oh, wait. Can you just pause it, honey? Pause it.
I don't know how to pause it.
Just stop it.